The Rick and Shauna Show, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Smart moves, smart doors. That's the way to go. For every rental dream, they help the numbers flow. Before you buy, after you close, they help you know. Welcome to the Rick and Shauna Show.
So welcome back to the Rick and Shauna Show, Property Management Unfiltered. And today we're going to have a discussion about private leasing. Mm-hmm. And just give a definition of what that means. That's somebody that's looking for leasing that is not under property management. And that could be for someone that is just starting out and maybe isn't in the mode where they need property management yet, or maybe can't afford it. Mm-hmm. Or it could be for somebody that does have a lot of properties, and that is the thing that's costing them the most time.
Right.
So maybe they have that as managing the properties. That might be their full-time job.
Right.
So this is an alternative for both, whether you're just starting out or you could be an experienced investor.
Right. So what is covered under private leasing? We do the same, and if you're familiar with property management, your property manager definitely markets and takes pictures and things like that. So we start to finish take the pictures. We do market. We market on a lot of the bigger websites, so it's your Zillow, Trulia, hotpadsapartments.com, realtor.com. There's a couple others sprinkled in there that some people might go to, but we also use social media. So we do have the Rick and Shauna Team Facebook page that we put them on. We have a TikTok page that we will also put the listings on from time to time. Marketplace for Facebook. We have an Instagram. So we're on top of all the social media, right? So we do throw them on there. And then, of course, all the websites that I mentioned. We do have a team of 3 leasing agents that do open house style showings, which I think is very important to point out because they have a 7-day-a-week schedule. So their schedule is just open. This is what they do for us. They lease. So they have open house style showings. That means that up to 15 different people could be looking at this property at any given time. I think it's important to mention that our leasing agents also reach out to the prospects before their showings to ask them a couple qualified questions. We do have our standards or our qualifications that we use in order to approve tenants or not. And they will reach out ahead of time just to make sure that the most qualified tenants are coming, or prospects are coming to the showings, right?
Well, that's the goal, right? The goal is to get the most qualified applicants you can get there, because if you don't have something in place that states those qualifications, whether it be that you post it online if somebody's looking, or you're telling them in person, but it's important because you want to make sure the people that are showing up, we don't want people to apply, honestly, that aren't qualified.
Right.
Because it's a waste of the money. So you don't want just people applying. So there's multiple times that these potential tenants understand what these qualifications are. So right up front, even then, if they decide they want to apply, they get it again. There's another message that gets sent by our agents that gives them that sequence of things that they have to do to qualify.
Right. So all of this is time consuming, right? So this is the service we're offering. This is the pain point we're trying to alleviate for property owners. You might be new, like you said, or you might be seasoned, and this is just what you do as far as managing the properties, collecting your rents and things like that, doing the maintenance, that's fine. This part that it seems to be the most time consuming part of all of it, right?
That's where we get the most probably feedback on, is when people have done this on their own. That seems to be where all the time is really spent.
Right.
It's the phone calls. It's
boy.
following up on all the emails. We've done it for years, and it can consume you.
Yes.
Especially the way that, and probably which is the way that, somebody that's doing it on their own, they're basically putting it on the website, and they're fielding all the calls.
Right.
They're fielding all the emails, all of it. So the nice thing about what we have is we have a service that allows people to schedule showings when they want to schedule them.
Right.
And they just show up on our agent's calendar, which is great. So we don't want to be a roadblock in terms of somebody being able to see a property.
Right.
And that was when we were doing it, and we did it the old-fashioned way. People would always say, "Oh, I don't get a call back."
Oh, our voicemails would fill up by 10 a.m.
Can't leave a
crazy.
message.
Yeah.
And
Can't ever get a hold of them. Yeah.
yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot to manage. So over the years, I think we've just perfected that, and it works really well.
Yeah. No, I like a lot better, through the years of experience of trials and tribulations, we've discovered this new showing service, which not only takes our calls and makes our appointments, but it also screens our tenants or our prospective tenants. And it, for us, we require all adults to do that, and it does run a background check. For that, though, for us anyways, we take it one step further because those national background checks, they don't always pull up everything. So we go one step further. We do have a third party that also not only screens that nationally, but will also run a local background check.
And that's not, you find that out through trial and error.
Oh, yeah.
Because unfortunately, a lot of people think, hey, I ran a
Yeah.
national background check. It's going to catch everything. And unfortunately, it doesn't catch everything. And we found that when you do the local, it also may pick up some additional things
Right.
as the national background does not. So those are just, things that you learn over the years. And we try to do the best we can. Having said that, you can only do so much, right?
Right.
You pull up, you have the information that you have, you try to go everywhere you can to make sure you screen these tenants thoroughly. And at the end of the day, that's what you have.
Yeah.
So you have to go with that.
Yeah, most of the property owners that we get, whether it's even under management and now they've chosen to do management, or if it is just the private leasing, they don't do any of that. So we offer this professional service, with this higher standard that, yes, it's going to cost a little bit of money, but think about the time that it's saving you. Think about the quality of tenants that you're going to get versus taking those phone calls and letting somebody tell you, hey, I got the money right now. I'm ready to rent this. And they come, they look at it, you think they look good, they sound good, you take their money, and then the next thing you know, they're in there and they're not paying. You find out, maybe you do a little research after the fact. So we do all of that up front. We save you all the time. We know what to look for.
That's a great point, though, that you made with the, what can happen. Because there is a lot of cost associated with not being as thorough as you can.
Yeah.
Anything can happen with a tenant. We meet tenants, spend 10 minutes with them. You do all you can to make sure that you've done your checks, everything's good. That's not a guarantee it's going to work out, but it's going to give you the best opportunity. And when a bad tenant goes in because maybe you didn't do all those things, it's very costly.
Yeah.
It's very costly because you could be asking someone to leave. You could be giving them a 30-day notice. You've got attorney fees. You've got the cost of turning the unit again.
That's right. It's off the market. You got utilities now you're taking over.
The list goes on.
Right. So yes, our services cost money, but the alternative is probably much, much more.
Yes.
If you don't do your checks and balances. And that's what we're here for. And that's why we started even, providing the service in the beginning, is because leasing is so time consuming. It can be, I guess for lack of a better word, like people can pull the wool over your eyes, right? They sound good, they look good, and
they have money.
And they have money, right? And I know that this is
enticing.
Everyone wants a profitable business. So, and you don't want the properties to sit on the market.
Yeah, that's right.
So all of that can be enticing. We kind of take the blinders off. We don't have any emotional attachment to it. We're sticking to the professional standards. And a lot of times we see property owners, they need that. They get too involved. They know their tenants very well. They're very first name basis with them sometimes. Yeah. So for the investors that are in the Canton area, Massillon, Akron, Cleveland, those are the areas that we service. If you're looking for something like that, reach out to us. We can be found at the Rick and Shauna team on Facebook. Leave a message. One of us will get back to you. Or you can find us at iconmgmt.net. Leave an email, make an inquiry. We will get that and we will reach back out to you. If you're on YouTube watching us, leave a comment below and we will reach back out to you as well.
Yeah, and also, hey, if you could just like us on,
like and subscribe,
Spotify,
guys. Yeah.
like and subscribe also on YouTube. That helps the channel. That that really helps us out, and we greatly appreciate it. So
Yeah, if there's any other questions also that you're coming up with on any of our episodes that we do, and you want to know more information about a certain episode, or you have a question that we didn't go over, please also leave those comments, or go to the Rick and Shauna Team Facebook page. Make an inquiry on the website. We will get back to you. We like talking to property owners about the services that we offer, about the knowledge that we have, the experience that we've grown to have over the years. We're willing to share that.
yeah, and we also, like Shauna said, with the comments, if there's something that you would like to see in an episode,
Yep.
that's great for us because there's very few things that we haven't experienced. So if there's something out there that you would like more information on or would like to hear about, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as far as the private leasing goes, again, just to cover a few points, it allows an owner to kind of keep control and yet let someone else do the time-consuming thing, which is schedule the showing, show the properties, find a good tenant. We even go so far in that particular service as to make sure the utilities are switched over, deposits paid, first month is paid, lease is signed. I know a lot of any property owner, I should say, may not have their own lease. So
That's
we
right.
provide that, right?
Yep. So if they have their own lease, great.
Yep.
If they don't, we can provide it.
Yep.
We can actually do the move-in.
Yeah.
But we have some owners that decide that, hey, I've got my own lease. I'd like to do my own move-in.
Yep.
You guys just get somebody that's a good tenant or you think feels qualified, and they take it from there. So we've got multiple, ways of getting this done for you.
Yeah, so they have many options. We're pretty flexible with that. I think, the property owner with private leasing, they get the final say.
Yep.
And I know a lot of times they like to do their own move-in because they like to meet the tenants. They do like to meet who's, moving into their home, especially since they weren't involved in the process, and that's fine too. But basically what we're doing is trying to free up the time so that you can go and do the things that matter, taking care of other properties or finding more properties.
Yeah, growing your business.
Yeah, and we're here to help with, those other things. So again, if you want more information on anything else, you have more questions, please let us know. You have anything else?
The only other thing that I will say is that, so obviously the private leasing is something that we offer, but, this is also a segue into people, that may want to get into property management. It gives them the opportunity to get to know me and Shauna and understand kind of what the business is what it's about and how we do business. So, it's also a way to understand who we are. So some people maybe just, hey, I'm just getting this idea about getting into property management. It's a nice place to start as well.
Right.
And you can kind of get to know us and how we do business.
Right. I think most people will find that we do go above and beyond, the normal property management service that you expect, right? We do a lot of footwork. Not just for our out-of-state investors. You can be local and still just not want to have much to do with it, or I think you mentioned previously, have a day job that you want to concentrate on, or family, or you
sometimes even more with local investors.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
they're here.
Yeah,
and they're paying attention to their properties very closely. So sometimes that there's other things that they're requiring of us.
Yes, absolutely. So we're here to help.
Yep.
Well, thank you for joining us, everyone. Again, like and subscribe if you want to see more. If you want to know when our episodes come up, that would be great. That helps us out. If you have any questions, any comments, anything that you want to see next, please leave those below and we'll be sure to get to it. Thank you.